Welcome back to our Rangers Walk. Hope you are well. 4 games to go, and QPR, I think we can now say, are safe from any relegation thoughts. We've got Joe and Michael back with us to review the recent game against Bristol City and just guide us through what should happen in the last 4 games. Should we get new players in there? Should we do some experimentation? Or should we just play it safe? Welcome back. Jawad, I think QPR fans have been through the ringer a lot this season. It's been up, down. But are we finally secure now that we're going to be playing Championship football again next season?
I think it's the first time this season that we've felt pretty secure. It's been a journey. It's had its ups and downs, more downs than ups. But I think they've ground out a couple of results this week, and yeah, I think maybe we might be able to enjoy the last 4 games.
Absolutely. The Oxford game, Michael, midweek. Obviously, you won in the end, but when that Oxford goal went in, did you start just to get a little bit antsy?
Nah, never in doubt.
But yeah, well done, QPR. I mean, I don't realistically think you're ever going down, but I thought when you go on bad runs, Michael, it puts the doubt in the fans and I'm guessing the players' minds as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that Oxford game was a nervy last half an hour really, because there was so much injury time, and I had literally just texted a mate and said we're not going to score again, so we're going to have to hold on. And lo and behold, about 2 minutes later, they went to score. So, yeah, I know lots about football.
Let's have a look at some. Let's look at some social media things for the Bristol City game, because I've read one tweet. I'm not sure I've got it here that said that was the best opening 25 minutes of football you played all season, Michael. That game, was that right?
I think it's up there. I think the way we were attacking, it looked so free flowing. I feel like that's the system that we're going to set up now in the final few games and going into next season, is free flowing attack where you'll have them all interchanging, whether they're central, on the right, on the left, and also Dembele. I mean, that's probably his best game for us, I think, since he's joined. He put in some great balls in the box. Ashby should have scored, but it was a good game for him as well, to be fair. So.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some things. Harry says, happy with that opening 30 was some of the best football we played all season. Madsen showing his value, linking the play and getting another good assist. Hopefully for him, it's the start of it clicking for him, because he's got it quality. We can't go back into another Madsen debate, Joad, and I don't want to, but did he have a good game against Bristol?
Yeah, I think the last 2 games he's shown qualities that maybe we haven't seen before. A bit more fight. There was one moment yesterday where Bristol City player passed the ball and he just left a little bit on him, and we haven't seen that side of him. And for me, the next 4 games are going to be so important, because I think they're going to make a judgment whether or not he's up to it next season. And his set piece delivery is really good. His cross for Dembele, to put that cross in and pick out a 5'3" player literally on a sixpence. I think there's a little bit of optimism. He was so bad before that anything was going to be an improvement, but there's been genuine moments of quality there. So fingers crossed.
I want to ask you about this one, Michael, and this might be a bit controversial, but it's to your view. Ian says, I've noticed the better performances and less giving the ball away since Powell has gone out this side. Some strange sub-decisions, but it was a fair result. And Willie says Madsen Ashby looked much more improved. On the Powell comment here, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Jared are, neither of us are fans of Powell. I think he gives the ball away too much. He's always out of position, and I feel like you look how bad Ashby was in his most comfortable position as a right back, and he filled in on the left back and looked more comfortable than Powell does. So, to be honest, I think it's still one of our weaker areas. And going into next season, I don't see a future where Powell stays or we play him anymore. So.
Yeah. I mean, what do you?
Sorry, to be fair to Powell, I thought the 70 minutes that he played against Oxford was arguably the best performance that he's given this season, especially first half. But generally, yeah, he's been a weak link for a while now. And like Michael said, Ashby fitted in really well yesterday. Again, a player that's maybe had more stick apart from Madsen, probably the most stick out of anyone, and he made a brilliant header in the last few seconds, really, at the back post. So yeah, credit to him as well for yesterday.
I want to start looking ahead to next season with you over the next couple of weeks. If that's all right. We'll look at the games to come in a minute. Where are we in terms of the foundations? Do you think, Jared, for next season? Are you built from what you can see the players that will be around? We know we've got contracts to sort out and so on. But do you think there's some strong foundations to build on?
News has just broken in the last couple of hours that Steve Cook is going to sign a new contract for next season, and I think it was one that I was dubious about. But I think having someone with that experience to replace it will take a lot. And if you can get 25 games out of him, I think he still has a lot to offer. I think that's a good signing. I would have thought there might be one or two more this week that follow. Now they kind of know that we're safe. Liam Morrison started, I think, 11 games and we haven't lost yet. He's kind of gone under the radar because Ronnie Edwards has been so brilliant back there, but they've formed a fantastic partnership. So I think building a team with him at the back alongside Clark Salter or Cook, because neither of them are going to be fit for 45 games. Varane, I think, is still got stuff to improve and learn, but I think that's a solid base. Ilias Chair's still going to be there. Dembele has shown bright patches in the last couple of games. So I think there's a core of 5 or 6 players that are going to be regulars next season, and I think it all depends on what they do with the forwards. I think Charlie Kelman's going to come back from Leyton Orient, and I think he's got a point to prove at QPR because he's been written off, really. And I think if we were linked with a 20 goal a season striker in League One, we'd be buzzing for it. So I really hope it works out for him. So bringing him back again, I think there's core there. I think there's still a hell of a lot of work to do. With maybe 4 or 5 players that can come straight in. The fullback positions are going to need a lot of work because Jimmy Dunne, I don't think, is going to stay. And I would also be offering Jack Colback a new deal because I think he's been excellent in the last 2 or 3 games. And again, if you can get 25 games out of him, I think he still offers a lot.
Okay. Cheers for Jared. And Michael, just on the fact, where are we with Marty himself and the coaching staff? I mean, I think it's fair to say he's had a bit of a rough ride this season, perhaps unfairly, given the amount of injuries he's had to contend with. But where are the fan base with him, and where do you think he's at? Because there are going to be 3 Premier League sides probably coming down. We know 2 probably without a manager that might be sniffing.
Yeah, no, I think he's invested in this project now. I think the fans are behind him overall, and I think his substitutions are the only things that I see people complaining about all the time, and they are strange. But I think he has our back, and I think the style of football that he's got us playing is exciting. It's quite free flowing, and I think he's loved by our fans. So I couldn't see him leaving, especially because a lot of people, when we were on that good run of form, we thought maybe there was a chance for us going up. I feel like now he's we had that bad run of form. I think not as many clubs are going to be sniffing around him anymore. So hopefully we can keep him, see how we do next season, and then sneak into the playoff spots then. So
okay. I think the only thing with that is I think he's ambitious, and I'm not sure the club are in the position to match that ambition. At the start of the season, we aren't going to be favourites for a top 6 or top 10 finish, no matter what happens in the summer. So it just depends if someone like Leicester comes in for him, says, "Look, we're going to give you this budget to try and go up." Yeah, I'm not sure that much loyalty exists in football anymore. So I'm just not sure if the club will match his ambitions. I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about the next 4 games then, shall we? What do you both want? Both of you chip in here. What do you both want to see from the remaining ones? I mean, to be honest with you, you've got some dead rubbers here, apart from the Burnley game, which probably might be a dead rubber by the time you get there. Preston are playing for nothing. Swansea are playing for nothing. Sunderland were playing for nothing, probably resting the whole squad in that last game of the season. And then you might be the one to where Burnley has their promotion party at Loftus Road. So yeah, it's a tricky one. This do you want to see youth being brought in here? Or do you want to see experimentation with formations, Jared? What
I think
do you want to
there's
see?
a core of players, Morrison, Dembele, Madsen, Varane, that we know are going to be there next season. I think those types of players have to be given time, really. Madsen, Dembele, especially because they've been in and out. We've not seen them much. I think for me, they have to start every game. I think someone like Ryan Colley, if he's fit, again, we need to kind of judge if he's going to be ready to be a number 9 in this league, or is he going to need a loan somewhere? There's a youngster who's come through called Emerson Sutton, who's been on the bench for the last 3 games. I think possibly giving him some time off the bench, but it would just be nice to kind of see your kind of core for next season, just to see what they can do. And like you say, the games all look like they're going to be dead, really, aren't they? I didn't realise that Sunderland will play their playoff game, I think 5 days after that
Yeah.
that league game. So there's no chance they're going to be playing a strong side. So yeah, just giving those players some time, and maybe a nice farewell to Jimmy Dunne if he's going to go. I think it's the kind of thing that you would like to know beforehand, so you can kind of give him a send off if he's going to leave. But yeah, it'd be nice to go into those games without any pressure.
You're on 50 points, Michael. You're 4 points away from finishing the top half. Does a top half finish mean much at this point of the season? I mean, obviously there's some financial benefits to finishing 12th to 15th, but I mean, psychologically, would it be good for the fans to have a 12th finish rather than 15th?
I think for the fans' point of view, I don't think any of us are that bothered. I do think for potential signings, it matters more. I think we finish in the top half. We can say we can offer that little bit of ambition that we're looking to improve on a top half finish and get in the playoffs in next season. And I think that means more to the signings that are going to come in. But as a fan, it doesn't make much difference whether I'm finishing in the top half or, because at the end of the day we're safe, and I think now it's just going into next season and seeing what we can do in the last 4 games. So
okay, all right. Cheers for both of you. Before we go this week, we are choosing our QPR Player of the Season. We know the club are well underway for giving fans their voice on that. But who gets it? And Jared and Michael's view. Let us know in the comments who you think should get it. Let's go to you two. There's so many players you've spoken positively about. I think I'm going to predict where it's going to go. Let me write it down so I can't cheat. I haven't got a pen with me right now. There we go. Let's see if I get it right. And then Jared, you can tell us.
You know what? I've been thinking about this for the last week or so, actually. And I think honourable mentions to Liam Morrison, who, when he's played, hasn't put a foot wrong. Ronnie Edwards came in when we needed a centre-back. He's been outstanding. But I genuinely always go back to one player. He's played every league game. He's been consistent. Couple of mistakes, I'd say, in recent weeks, but Paul Nardi for me. I just don't think anyone's matched that consistency, and to come into this league as an unknown, really, we didn't really know much about him. Yeah, I've got to go with him.
Michael?
yeah, I think obviously Paul Nardi's levels above Begovic, but I think player of the season probably Jimmy Dunne. I think when he has played, he offers a good height in the defence, and he's good going forward as well as defence. I feel like the last few months, obviously with the speculation of him signing a new contract, has hindered my opinion on him a little bit. But I think he was our best defender on his day, and yeah, I'd probably go for him.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, bingo. They are. I knew you'd say no.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. Now we're also asking you to choose the Championship Player of the season that you've seen at Loftus Road play, or you've seen as an away fan at other stadiums. This is 2 rules for this. 1, it can't be a QPR player. And 2, yes, you must have seen them against QPR as an opposition player. So, who has torn Rangers up more than others? Who's excited you and had you wishing that they were a Rangers player? Michael?
I think I've said him before, like in a previous episode, but Josh Maja when he scored the hat trick against us for West Brom, I think it was like the first game of the season. I thought we were in for a long ride, and I thought he was going to smash it with every top goal scoring record this season. But I feel like obviously, if you're judging it by a whole season, probably not him. But I feel like the best individual performance against us, I think it has to go for him.
John?
Best player I've seen, and I have to say, I think if he had stayed fit for the season, I think his team would have been in the top 6. Is Ben Doak at Middlesbrough, and he absolutely tore us to shreds. He actually ended one of the QPR players' careers because the week after, I think a couple of weeks after that, he was sent out on loan back to Portugal. I still reckon Santos wakes up in a cold sweat thinking about that night. And I think if he had stayed fit, I think Borough would have been in a much better position. But yeah, head and shoulders the best player that I've seen against us.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, both of you. Right, you can put your feet up. Enjoy your football over this Easter weekend. Thank you for sharing with us. 3 to go. Join us next week when we review, of course, how we've done in these 2 games, and we'll look ahead, of course, to awarding our goal of the season as well. So join us for that next week. Thanks for watching. Do drop us a quick like and subscribe, and have a good one. Happy Easter all.